So welcome to CNS 2003. Okay, so this course is title is Enterprise Network Services. Okay, it's a 3-credit hour course. It is face-to-face, so it's not online. Attendance will be taken in the classroom in the first 20 minutes. Prerequisite is CIS 1103. We are covering 4 CLOs: deploy an enterprise server operating system. CLO2 is implement various enterprise network services such as DNS, DHCP, web services, and so on. CLO3 is implement various enterprise directory services. There we will install Active Directory, create a domain, first domain in the forest. And last but not least, CLO4 is to apply measures to secure an enterprise domain server managed network. Okay, this is the name of the textbook. It's a good textbook. It's available in the course portal. Now let's come to the delivery plan. So we are meeting every week 2 times. Okay. And we will be having lab activities, in-class activities. They are marked. So we will get 5 labs, 6 labs. We will take the highest 5 marks of these labs, and you will be notified about the lab. Okay. So next week, inshallah, we'll be doing the first lab. It will be in our next meet, on Thursday. So please make sure you bring your laptop. And I will send your name to IT to get you the accounts, your accounts. Okay. Now the mark distribution. Yeah. Here. See, in-class activities, they are called 5. Each one is 6 marks, so 6 times 5, 30. The project is 35 marks, and the final practical is 35 marks. Okay. There are some discussions about the FWA distribution. If there is any update, I will let you know. Okay. So now let us start with the first lecture. So chapter 1 is Introduction to Windows Server 2019, and this is the platform we will use for this course and for the labs. Microsoft Windows Server 2019. So what is a computer network? Computer network is a group of computers connected with a network media. Maybe this media could be wireless, okay? And they are communicating with each other using a networking protocol, and they have a networking operating system to govern this communication. Okay. Why do we need the network? We need it for many reasons. There are many benefits for networks. To share resources, for security. Okay. So, the PC, we have computer parts for the PC, like motherboard, like hard keyboard, mouse, and same thing for network. We have components. We have the network operating system, such in our case is the Windows Server 2019. This is the network operating system. We have the network node, which is our computers. And this is the switch. Switch is called network device. Network device. The client-server network is a network that consists of a server and clients connected to this server. So as you can see here, we have how many clients? We have 4 clients connected to the switch, and the switch is connected to the server. Okay, so this is called a client-server network. And the architecture for client-server network, we can have LAN, we can have MAN, yani metropolitan, we can have WAN, okay? For a network, for a computer to be connected to the internet, it should have an IP address. So an IP address, it's an address that is given to the computer so that it can communicate with the network and with the internet. Okay. And there are IP version 4, and lately we have IP version 6. Okay. So for IP version 6, it has more bits so that it can cater for more computers. So server is the main device in the network. It will receive the requests from the clients, and then it will respond to the clients. Okay. And nowadays we have also the cloud computing. The cloud computing, the computers, they are connected to the cloud. So they are getting their network services from the cloud. Example for the cloud is the Amazon, AWS, or we have Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud. Server hardware, your computer server should have enough hardware, should have enough capacity, memory, speed, to be able to take the role of server, okay, to become a server. And we call this key components, key system components, or the minimum computer requirements. Okay. Now there are different shapes for your network server. We have blade servers. Blade servers, they are small modules known as blades, and they are installed on the server chassis. If you go to the computer lab in the other building, downstairs, IG09, I think, there is chassis there, and there are some computers. These are called blade servers. Tower server is a big computer that is put like on the floor or on the table, and it's like vertical. Rack mountable servers are designed to be installed in a frame called rack. Okay. This is the figure. This is how it looks like. What is network operating system? It is a software. It is capable of managing, maintaining, and providing resources to your network. Okay. He needs advising, some urgent matter. Okay. So after all, an OS is an operating system. Give me some examples. We have Windows Server 2012, 2019. We have the Mac OS server. Okay. Of course, Windows Server it is it is by Microsoft, and Microsoft they introduced first NT 3.5, بعدين 3.6, 4, then Windows Server 2000, okay, and then 2008, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2000. From 2012 was 32-bit and 64-bit. 2019 is all 64-bit. Okay, the file system used, okay, is called REFS. It is more advanced than NTFS because it can handle bigger and more sophisticated storage and filing system. Okay. So we already talked about how the history and how it was developed by Microsoft, and it now this is important here. This is the timeline, what I have just mentioned to you. They started talking about Microsoft and involved in servers from 1996. We have Windows NT 3.5, 2000, 2008, 12, 16, 19, and even now we have Azure Cloud also. We have the cloud. So Windows 2019 is one of the latest, one of the recent. It's not the latest now. There are more, but for the time of this book, it was the latest. Okay, and it has more features, of course, than 2016. Okay, and we will talk about these features in more details. So these are the additions for Windows Server 2019. We have the data center. This is the full-fledged everything, all the features in it. Manufacturers, these are given to enterprises that have the highly virtualized data centers. Okay. Then we have Windows 2019 standard is full feature, but for medium-sized businesses, okay, that own servers on their premises, not data center server. Then we have Windows 2019 Essential. It is for small businesses that owns a single server. Then we have Microsoft Hyper-V Server. It is a free product that delivers enterprise-class virtualization for data centers and hybrid clouds. Okay. So Windows 2019 is much better than Windows 2016. It has more features related to hybrid capability, to the cloud adaptability, to security also. It has more features related to security. It supports shielded VMs for Windows Server and Linux. Okay. They both also have ATP. Also for optimization and performance, Windows 2019 supports Linux containers and Kubernetes platforms. Okay. So it is also features related to infrastructure management. Windows 2019 support cluster-wide monitoring and deduplication. Okay, for REFS. This is the minimum and recommended system requirement. The processor is 1.4 gigahertz. RAM is almost half giga or 512, but it is 2 giga for servers with the desktop experience installation option. Okay. Disk space 32 giga. You should have a network card, fast network card. You should have a good graphic device and monitor اللي هو at least Super VGA. You should have storage or DVD. boot. Okay, or you can do if you want to have better performance, you should have at least a processor of 2 giga. RAM should be 32 giga. See the difference? Minimum is 512, yani half giga. But if you want really good performance, 32 giga. Disk space 256 giga, and so on. Please, you should know these requirements both. This slide is important. Okay, so we have already talked about some of the new features in Windows Server 2019. One of the good things or the advanced features about it is the System Insight. System Insight is a smart system, okay? It provides an insight into the functionality of server, and it helps system administrators to keep everything running properly or smoothly. Why? Because it uses predictive analysis, yani AI. AI is prediction, okay? So it analyzes past usage and trends and predict if the future performance. So it's called System Insights. Hybrid cloud support, we already talked about the support that Windows Server 2019 does for the cloud, okay? It supports Azure backup, file sync, disaster recovery. So it provides the better support to the cloud and hybrid cloud. Storage migration, okay? This is a brand new feature in 2019, okay? And why it is good? Because it facilitates the process of migrating server to a new version of Windows Server. And it uses GUI, and graphical user interface, or GUI, they call it. Okay, so it's easier to use. Storage replica is when you want to replicate your storage, okay? It was there in 2016, but in 2019, it's more enhanced, okay? And enables the replication of volumes between servers or clusters, synchronous or asynchronous. We'll talk more about this when we talk about backup later on in the course. This may be in April when we talk about backup, okay? Also, we have support for Microsoft Defender, اللي هو ATP. What is ATP? ATP is a centralized security platform, okay, for detecting malware, okay. And it's not new to Windows 2019, by the way. It's even in Windows 10, okay. But they brought it to the server. Support for Kubernetes, especially for programmers and application developers. They need to have an isolated containers in order to build and test their applications. So Windows Server 2019 provide this facility, okay? So it provides isolated containers, okay? And they are called nodes and pods, okay? Nodes and pods. A node is physical, a node is physical or virtual machine. البود اللي هو instance of the application. Inshallah, if you people who develop applications, they will know what we are talking about when we talk about instance of the virtual or of the application. Okay, we already mentioned that it supports Docker containers. Okay. The Docker, it consists of Docker engine, which powers Docker containers, Okay. Before, Dockers were only used, by the way, in Linux, but now, Microsoft, they have now support for Dockers, and even Mac, they have support for Dockers, which is good. Now, this is the summary. Please read the summary and let me know if you have any questions.